shot of from the meeting yesterday, so everybody can see the venue. It was really nice. So essentially, I just talked about what GeoCollaborate is, where you have a leader and a follower, and then the dashboard. And we have been, successfully demonstrating and licensing and working with customers on doing the real-time following with GeoCollaborate and the dashboard. And essentially, there were a lot of folks there yesterday that had never seen this, never heard about it. So I wanted to describe how GeoCollaborate works, where when somebody turns GeoCollaborate on, they actually get the data that, let's just say, Pennsylvania might be displaying in the Emergency Operations Center. And then if everybody had it and turned it on, then everybody would be getting the data that Pennsylvania is staging. And so that's kind of like a one-way collaboration where Pennsylvania could turn on specific data layers from the Business Emergency Operations Center and go into any one of these companies' dashboards in real time, so they could monitor and see what's going on and what Pennsylvania is thinking about and what might be beneficial to their to emergency information to help with commerce and the movement of goods and services. But what we've been able to do recently with GeoCollaborate is now connect disparate instances of GeoCollaborate. So, for example, if CNS had some data of fuel closed and, in some of their region, which might include Maryland, or, HPS has property needs and they've highlighted some counties in Pennsylvania where they really need assistance. And then maybe a utility down the bottom lower left has transmission and distribution lines. Pennsylvania could read in each one of their, instances of GeoCollaborate to put them in a collaborative common operating picture within Pennsylvania, all overlaid on the same map. So essentially, if I blow that up, this is what Pennsylvania's could look like, pulling in 3 different data sources from 3 different instances of GeoCollaborate. So they now, you almost have developing a professional, crowdsourced ORL1 level data going from a private sector organization into a state government EOC to help with decision making. And so the data layers that get shared into any emergency operations center can be used for decision making, but Pennsylvania does not take possession of that data. So they can use it for their decision making. And the other thing is, and I'll minimize this and I'll pull in the live demonstration here, which is I have an instance called Pennsylvania, and whenever you turn GeoCollaborate on the right-hand side, I have a follower for Pennsylvania. So if you're zooming in on Pennsylvania with the leader, then the follower follows. We've all seen that in real time. But if I go to another instance, and let me just turn on a data set real quick, and I'll turn on from Pennsylvania, I'll turn on the 511 data. So we've now interfaced and gotten the real-time road and traffic and closure information into GeoCollaborate within Pennsylvania. So now you have a leader and a follower. But if I switch my tabs up top here, and I go over to another private sector instance of GeoCollaborate, which is Acme Recycling. We just made that name up. Thank you, Wile E. Coyote. And when they turn on GeoCollaborate, they have to put in their name, so I'll just put in their name here to log in, and I'll start a new session here. Notice that it's on, and it's not following Pennsylvania because they are their own instance, right? But if they now would have the option of selecting a server site and selecting Pennsylvania. So what this basically does is pull in the data sets that are being staged by Pennsylvania. So when I click that, all of a sudden the 511 data comes in because Pennsylvania has staged it for them to come into their instance. They're free to move around. There could be folks that are following the Acme instance, and they will get this information as well. But the key thing is when Pennsylvania says, okay, the sharing is over, the incident is done. They just need to turn their data layer off, and when they stop sharing it, then Acme Recycling stops getting it. Now, this particular example is just a generic example, right? On the left, it could be a utility sharing the location of their trucks with the state for the state to help with decision making, and then the utility says, okay, we're calling it, we turn it off, the state no longer starts getting the data. So this sharing of data in a trusted environment controlled by the data provider is really a significant advance that we made within GeoCollaborate, and it seemed like it was really well accepted yesterday. That's it, Tom.
Yeah, great. Yep, very good. So this is bedrock to the SISE principles, right? Sharing data without giving you the data. Working with states, this will give us at the regional level ground truth at the state level like no one gets. This is what's interesting about this development here. So we're moving forward rapidly on this. So Pennsylvania is going to be our test bed to push and pull information to and from. But I'm very excited about this capability. Thanks to Dave and NASA and NOAA and all the folks and Molly and Jeff for making this happen. So, okay. Kent, are you still with us here? I'll give you the last word.
Tom, great call today, and just impressed by the level of work and collaboration that's going on. Molly and team, congrats on your meeting yesterday. Sounds like a huge success, and I'm sure there's going to be more good stuff coming out of that. And Dave, really impressed with the progress of the GeoCollaborate tool, the ability to share information like that without providing control over it, I think is going to go a long way to enhance information sharing as we go forward. So great stuff. I hope everyone has a chance to relax a little bit this weekend after the hurricanes. Enjoy.
Okay.